Yo, what's good, Spirit Squad? Today we're taking a look at a deck that I played a while ago, and this is going to be Boros Scam. So if anybody is aware of Twitch streamers, check out MTG. That's where I got this list from, and I don't know, cool kid. But the way this is working is going to be essentially the same as those old style Orzhov scam decks used to do, where you would have access to Fury, pitch a card to it, it kills their creatures, but then you can ephemerate it to stick around. Unlike Grief, this version of the deck is going to play Solitude instead. So we've got lots and lots of free pitch elemental removal spells that you can take advantage of ephemerate with. So I'm already liking that part, right? But you'll notice that everything here is 1, 3, or 5, which means we get to play Obosh. So unlike Rakdos Scam, you actually get to play a companion. So now you're not even sad as much anyway, as sad as you were previously about pitching your cards to your elementals, because that deck doesn't really have a way to recoup the cards. Here, we at least have a companion, so that's a very good free card for us. But everything else is probably what you would expect from Scam. You'd have Rags chilling over here, Lightning Bolts, Seasoned Pyromancers, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and Blood Moon. All of your typical, really scammy cards that exactly nobody likes to be on the other side of. We of course need white cards for Solitude, so, other than Ephemerate, we've got a bunch of low to the ground white removal spells too, like Prismatic Ending, because, well, Prismatic Ending gets everything. It's super good. I don't know why you would not play this. And then 2 copies of March of Otherworldly Light. So, of course, just being white cards for Solitude is already kind of important for March of Otherworldly Light, but this is a format that's pretty heavy on Urza Saga, so the fact that for 1 mana and at instant speed, you can get rid of their super powerful land drop, sign me up. The other spots here are just going to be 2 copies of Timeless Dragon, which I started to question this card in this deck until I actually played with it, and holy shit is this card good. So, of course, it's just a nice even drop 5/5, and that's almost like worst case scenario. You get the Plane Cycle, which is going to bring us to another point in a second here. For just 2, and since you can Plane Cycle, you can later Eternalize it for 4, so it's a 4 mana 4/4 with flying still on the way out. But the reason specifically Plane Cycling is important instead of regular cycling, remember we're a Prismatic Ending deck, so we actually do want to give ourselves access to more than 2 colors sometimes. And that'll let us grab either our one of Hallowed Fountain or Roguin Triome, so that Timeless Dragon can now grab a blue source. And we're going to be playing specifically blue sources because of some of the stuff out of our sideboard here. So let's move to the sideboard. We've got 2 copies of the Fairy Time Raveler that are of course good against Cascade decks, but realistically, they're just good cards. And in some matchups, you just want like good solid cards rather than, for example, things like Blood Moon. So like, I don't know, if say you're playing against Merfolk or something similar that plays just like a giant pile of basic lands, Blood Moon probably not going to be at its best. But you can just put a couple of Teferis in, and those are certainly going to be better than Blood Moon there. All of these spots here are together because, well, they're even drops, which means that if you have these in your deck, they better be for a really good reason, because it means you won't be able to reveal Obosh. That reason in Modern is going to be creativity. So the creativity deck, not really a big fan of being on the other side of giant creatures, so we have 3 copies of Hallowed Moonlight. These are also really good against things like Urza Saga token, because remember, this card doesn't say anything about non-token creatures. It gets rid of Urza Saga tokens, it gets rid of living end things, it gets rid of rhinos. So Hallowed Moonlight actually has quite a few jobs in Modern right now. This card's really good. And Orvar. So Orvar is not really a card you want to be casting, and you're generally only putting it in your deck against the creativity deck. So what happens with Orvar is that your opponent puts an Arcana Cruelty on the table with the creativity, and its trigger is going to resolve. The trigger is they gain 3, they draw a card, and you lose 3, you discard a card, and that's where Orvar comes in. But more importantly, you sacrifice a creature. What happens is you discard the Orvar, and you make Orvar turn into their Arcana of Cruelty. When you get to do that, now they have to sacrifice, they have to discard, basically resetting life totals and card amounts to where they were before y'all all got here, but you're the one with an Arcana of Cruelty, not them. Nice investment on your spell opponent. But this doesn't go in against really anything else. Creativity is just that popular. Everything else here is just going to be your normal kind of run-of-the-mill modern fare. We've got Wear and Tear. Remember, Hammer Time is a very good deck in the format right now, but there's lots of things that use artifacts like Affinity and lots of random decks that use enchantments. So, nice and covered with Wear and Tear. 3 copies of Relic of Progenitus help us against a lot of the graveyard decks. Remember, Murktide Regent is a graveyard deck at the end of the day. So, getting those Murktide Regents under control, pretty nice. Keeping Dragon's Rage Channeler to less than a 3/3, also pretty nice. And the last 2 spots are going to be Core Firewalkers because, honestly, Burn is not very high on the list of decks this deck wants to see. So, we just want to be able to have something that's just a, hey, stop what you're doing, cut it out, I hate you. And Core Firewalker does exactly that. Again, Core Firewalker does invalidate Obosh, but if you're playing against Burn, when do you plan on having mana for a 5-drop like that, right? So that's going to be the deck. I'm really excited to play this again. It was super fun the last time I got to play it. Sorry, I played it without y'all. And yeah, let's just join round 1, y'all. Today's video brought to you by FusionGamingOnline.com, your one-stop shop for all your gaming needs. Welcome to round 1. We're on the draw against Illusions Donate GG. Okay, so this is clearly somebody who's been playing Magic a hell of a lot longer than myself. And I'm actually going to chill with this hand. So I've got 2 Blood Moons. So if one of them catches, I don't know, like a Force of Negation or something, I don't really care because I've got 2. Unless I draw Rags, I still don't mind, right? Because that's turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and this is a basic for Blood Moon. So, actually, no. I'll hold up Bolt. This plays around them potentially dashing a Rags at me. Now, let's see what they get with said Scalding Tarn. Theme Vents. Okay, so it looks like we were probably correct to play around the dashed Rags. See, Otherworldly Gaze. Oh, no. Are we getting Neoformed? Uh-oh, Raggy. This is not on the list of matchups I wanted to see. So if this is like Dredge, Laria West, I no longer have guesses or ideas, y'all. I no longer know what's happening. Okay, Polluted Delta. Not going to use my Bolt, just going to untap. And we have a Fury. So I'm going to put this in tapped. I don't really have a reason to need to take 2 here. And if I'm being completely honest, I still don't really know what the hell my opponent's doing. So they're going to go to 16, presumably 14. That's a yes. And they could flash this back if they wanted to. And it looks like that is, in fact, the plan. So let's find out what the hell they're doing. Let's see them dump more cards in, I guess. Spell Pierce down, no other information. Okay, so I still have absolutely no idea what my opponent even could be doing here. So let's, yeah, do an untap. Mesa, okay. So I'm going to use that to get another Plains. This gives me the ability to draw into Solitude. So there's our Plains. Let's get this countered. I saw Spell Pierce, so I can assume they have another counter spell in hand somewhere. And that was exactly the case. So no, we're not going to be able to counter that. They do get a turn to basically do whatever the hell weird thing they were trying to do anyway. And we're not playing blue cards though, so it's not like we ever really had a say in the matter. I'm mostly curious about this Teleria West. What is that doing? Wishclaw Talisman, okay. And a Timeless Dragon. I actually kind of love that for us. So let's go ahead and try Blood Moon number 2. See if that goes. Okay, Otherworldly Gaze. Can't do much about that, so you got it. So a thing they could do, assuming that there's some kind of like, I don't know, Entomb Reanimate style deck, but for Modern, and I've still seen no actual cards of note here, is they could do this to look for a basic. So that is something that's kind of on my radar here. But now that we've got to establish a Blood Moon, hopefully we don't just like die to Underworld Breach here, because like double bobble in graveyard is kind of scary. So not going to sit here in front and say that it's not. It is kind of terrifying. I could also just like get rid of this, right? That costs 3, which means I can Plane Cycle, go get a land. Doesn't really matter what it is. So I'm going to grab, I guess, the Howler Fountain. Look at that. And I have a choice. I can establish Fable of the Mirror Breaker so that I'm actually like doing something, or I could get rid of the Wishclaw Talisman and deny them a draw step of some sort. And I think this is probably the play. Like if they have another counterspell now, then so okay, that sucks. But like if they had a third Spell Pierce, then I already wasn't resolving Fable anyway. So complaining about that, I'm pretty sure is irrelevant. So now let's go ahead and develop what? Fable or a Fury? Oh, well, look at that. Well, we have a new plan. So we're going to dash Rags first, see what they do about this, if anything. And then we can resolve a Fable in main phase too. So I like that. Okay, oh, well, I can't do anything about that, so you got it. So now they get to rearrange things, and they get to decide what comes off the top of their deck, which is pretty damn good, not gonna lie. Okay, so now they go to 11. I see what they want me to take, and a Twiddle. Again, I wish I could tap this on their turn. All right. Well, at least we now know what we're playing against. So if they're just playing like Underworld Breach plus Twiddlestorm, and their big thing to get here is exactly one copy of Lotus Field, I am really glad for this Blood Moon being here. But that also means that they realistically do have ways to get rid of it. Like, I'm not anywhere near just like safe. But that did give me a much better idea of, oh, that's really good, because I can actually do this to get rid of this. I'm actually quite happy about that. And do I want to discard? Yes. I think I actually want to drop both of the Furies, since I now know that I'm not playing against a creature deck. The Ephemerate wasn't my favorite draw, but I do like them going to 7, because with the Lightning Bolt in hand, that means that exactly one more attack with these is lethal. We get another treasure, we get to hit them down to 7, and do we steal Otawara or something good? Another Twiddle. That's probably a lot better than I think it is. So let's do that. Get rid of these. And since we've cast with 2 colors and they can't activate this except during their turn, sucks to be you. Go away, Talisman. And that's going to be a turn past. I'm not going to activate my Timeless Dragon. So they do have a couple of, like, I guess, combat tricks that they could use here. They do have the ability to, like, twiddle one of my attackers to deny me the attack. They can Otawara and bounce like this, for example. So they have lines they can take. They have plays they can make. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and try to dash. We get another treasure. I am a fan of those coming on our side. So let's see if they actually go to 3 here. Okay, sweet. So they're at 3, and I am. Oh, never mind. I don't have to think anymore. I was gonna say I could just go ahead and until their upkeep, and then use the Lightning Bolt to play around the Force of Negation, but peeling off their Underworld Breach actually gives me the ability to recast Lightning Bolt a bunch of times with all of his sources of red mana over here. So that actually would have been really cool for a little bit of a combo kill. So what do I want here? I definitely want Relics. I want Wear and Tear. I guess it's a Fairy matchup. Barely. Cards I don't really care about here include Ephemerate, Solitude. That's actually it, right? Like, that's pretty decent. Yeah. Bolt and Rags help clear out games. I want all of the red cards that I can keep in. So just so I can, like, cast my own threats under Blood Moon should, like, you know, push come to shove. I don't have a blue source in my deck with a, what you call it on the table? With a Blood Moon on the table. So I guess I gotta be a little careful about, like, not screwing myself with Teferi. But I think this is gonna be a submission here. All right, so we're going to reveal friend Obosh here. And what's our hand? Bolt, Fable, Blood Moon? It does the thing. All right. So I would, of course, prefer to have like a Rags in here, but let's be real. Is there a circumstance in which I wouldn't want Rags in my opener? So I guess complaining about not having one is a little bit of a stupid point to make, right? Den of the Bugbear. Okay. So I've got Den, fetch white. I don't know, fetch Hallowed Fountain if need be. Sure. I could actually just grab Triumph with Arid Mace. So what am I talking about? Otherworldly Gaze, you got it. So now let's see if I can manage to get turn 2'd by something cool. Amulet. Okay, yep. So Arid Mesa is going to grab our friend Triumph, do the untap, play our Den of the Bugbear, and cry about another land coming that I didn't really want. Okay, so we are realistically ultra freaking dead here. They can grab Triumph, untap Triumph with Amulet, cast Otherworldly Gaze from hand to kind of keep the pain train going, unless they're also playing cards like, I don't know, say, Consider or Opt. They're not. Okay, so now here comes the Lotus Field. Oh no, here does not come to Lotus Field. Okay, we're gonna untap. So, well, that was awkward. I guess I'm just gonna grab the other mountain, I suppose. And I'm gonna start here. Oh, okay. So either they don't have a counterspell or they just like don't care about the Fable, and realistically they probably don't care about the Fable, but I wanted to give them a chance to use a test spell. So Tome Scour, Pact of Negation. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna press the lovely 6 button, and what happens here? Are we okay? So they do have the Lotus Field in hand, So I'm gonna press 6 because they're gonna get to do whatever they want here. So Tome Scour's in the graveyard, which really means that if they have Underworld Breach in hand or a way to get it in hand, then they can effectively mill out their entire deck using Tome Scour and then use Thassa's Oracle to cleanse the game out here. So as soon as they show me an Underworld Breach ad nauseum, okay, 13. They not find a breach yet? No, they found a breach. They found an untapper. I don't see an untapper. Oh, no, I don't see an untapper. They must have already had one. There's the untapper. Okay. And Underworld Breach. So we are donezo. And do I want to change anything for game 3? I just think the answer is going to be negative. Yeah. All right. So we are going to keep the same configuration. We know that Orvar, Hell, and Moonlight have basically no place in this matchup. So we're going to get to be on the play this time. Let's show off our friend Obosh here and open it up with double rags. So this isn't obviously as good, anywhere near as good as like having a Blood Moon already in hand. But as far as non-clunky starts go, this is one of them. Okay, what are we doing here? Grabbing a basic island, probably so I don't just like snag it with rags. Pretty smart opponent. So let's go ahead and see if they don't twiddle my friend. They don't. Okay. Okay, they're going to cast a gaze. So once again, controlling what I get off the top of their deck. Okay. So now we finally hit, and I assume they give us a land. Oh, a Consider. There's Howler Fountain in this deck. I'll cast a Consider. Didn't really want that, but whatever. It's not on top of the deck. Sometimes Rags gets to do cool stuff occasionally. All right. So here I can just like hard cast a Fury. I've got, oh, come on. If I've got absolutely nothing else going on, and it seems that's going to be the case, me not having anything else going on here. So once again, fetching out their land of choice. Oh, what's this? Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have a Blood Moon, but they don't have a white source, so they can't like Pact Negation anything, even if I did have a Blood Moon. So I think they're just like taking it on the chin this turn, is what I think is happening here. Pierce. Okay. So it is good to know when those are out of the opponent's deck too. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab another dual land here. Let's grab a Sacred Foundry, and we're just going to jam a big double striker there. Deal with some pressure. So if they can kill us, obviously we're dead. There's nothing I can do about it. But if we're not dead, then we're doing pretty okay. So let's see which it is. Oh, Tawara's the land drop. Okay. And what is this? Oh, Grape Shot my rags. Well, joke's on you. I have another. So, come on. Enough with the land drops. That's what I get for talking shit. So I'm still going to play the rags here. So let's get our attack in. Hey, you go down to 4. I kind of do want to use their Wishclaw Talisman. Obviously not this turn though. So what I can do here is, right, it only costs 1, not a black to activate, correct? Yeah, okay. So the idea here is that next turn, even if they kill Fury, because this is going to end up having, what are we doing? More Otherworldly Gazes. Yeah. So provided I live this turn, which is not guaranteed, but if I do, my Wishclaw Talisman can go get either Blood Moon or Relic of Progenitus, or just like a Lightning Ball to finish them off post-combat. So I'm going to give us the chance to draw towards any/all of those things. But if they're floating double blue, that doesn't really signal good things for us. So good luck. Okay, Void Snare returning the Talisman back to their hand. Uh-oh. Did we super fuck up and give them an out? Okay, shoo. Teleria West. Okay. It does mean that I can't go and get a Lightning Bolt, but. Oh, Wear and Tear. That's pretty good for us. I assume they don't play like a Mana Leak or anything crazy, so I'm just gonna do this and see if this goes. So I assume you're tapping my Fury? Tapping my Fury, you got it. I did know that was an option that you had. Don't really want that. So what am I gonna do here? I'm just gonna hold up Wear and Tear. I don't think the tear part actually does literally anything for me here, but I can hold it up for relatively free, so I think I just should. And I'm definitely not casting that Otherworldly Gaze. That does nothing for me. All right. So now they are stuck dealing with both Fury and Rag since they're at 2. And I effectively can't do anything else to them while they're in the middle of things. I know that I have a Wear and Tear, so that's going to feel pretty nice as well. Holy shit, I'm a moron. Did I really just say I didn't think the Tear half had text when Underworld Breach is the whole point of the deck? I'm gonna need somebody to ignore me on that one, please. Anyway, yeah, Breach resolves. So now I can respond to their first spell by killing the Breach. F. So I will be doing this before the, which one is enchantment? Tear? Yeah, Tear cast. So if they can do something about Tear, then sucks to be me. But if they can't, if they can't, oh, it's right. They get to use the ones they have at least. Gross. Right. My kingdom for a lightning bolt. Okay, so there's the Wish Claw Talisman. So they can choose between using Lotus Field here for red. I'm sorry, using it for black and then not having a red to like play another Underworld Breach if they get it. Or just kind of like passing back, which is almost as bad. I'm lucky they have 5 cards instead of 7 so that they don't get to like use the Dream Grip more times and then just like do all of the cool stuff. So they can use that for black and they can play their Wish Claw Talisman and use it if they really want to. I don't think that's part of the plan, but they could. All right, so now they're going to sacrifice their 2 lands. They have hopefully not another Breach in there, but I'd also really just like love to see a lightning bolt right now. Like, I don't want to have to think about this too much longer if I can help it, right? Oh, we are in full desperation mode, ladies and gentlemen. We are ad nauseuming for 2, hoping to hit exactly a twiddle effect here. Well, and opponent just put YOLO in the chat. You know what? Fuck it. Good luck, opponent. I hope you hit. What do you got? Hit Mishra's Bauble as the first card. Okay. Twiddle. Oh my god. They hit it. They hit Twiddle Bauble. What is happening? No. Not like this, y'all. Not like this. Oh my god. Yo. I even just told the opponent, I said, yo, you are so lit right now. Yo, my opponent is actually just the most blessed human of all time. This is amazing. I'm so glad this is being recorded. Jesus Christ. All right, so there's a talisman. Yep. All right. Okay. No other mana source? Oh, man. All right. Oh, I'm telling y'all, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 15 on the thank God Simian Spirit Guide isn't legal anymore scale. Oh, my Lanta. That was scary. But opponent actually hit with the stupid thing too. Like, I'm so glad that was as wild as it was. They actually hit what they needed to hit off the ad nauseum, which was just so insane-o. Man, that was a great first match. I am hyped for the rest of this. Right, round 2, once again on the draw. Let's show our friend Obosh to them, and we got, honestly, not bad. I'm here for it. So let's keep this and see what our opponent's cooking. Bloodstained Mire. So, I have exactly 0 information. Understood. And a Bugbear. Okay, I'm here for that. So, let's not show the Den of the Bugbear until next turn if I can avoid it. And here, let's see just what is they're up to. Jetmir's Garden. Am I playing against Zoo? I guess the Solitude / Fury are going to feel pretty good if I am playing against Zoo, but wow. Okay, so I'm going to grab Triumph. So grabbing the Triumph technically still allows me to play this Solitude if I don't draw Blood Moon, but if I do draw Blood Moon, I want to mask a basic land for exactly 1 more turn. So normally I'd be like, all right, I don't care if I like this is on 2, this is on 3, guarantee my white source now, this comes in tapped on turn 4 and just be okay with that. But like, I don't know, you never know. Okay, so I do in fact think I'm playing against Zoo. Is this General Ferris, whatever his name is? Oh no, it's a Safari. Okay, so I'm still not doing anything about that. So if they want to tick up, I have Prismatic Ending. If they want to, okay, it looks like they are. And now I get to just be fairly happy with that because I have red, white, and blue now. Basic land, get. Fairy, get out. Okay, so now let's see what happens from here. They could also just be creativity. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this could just like be a creativity draw. So, that actually means I think I do. Oh no, I just do the same thing, right? I just run it back. Red, white, blue, leave up Den of the Bugbear for a for a lightning bolt targeting the whatever the dwarven token this thing gets. All right, so second Teferi down. Cool. That means now I can at least participate against 1 instance of Dwarven Mine. So if they have a second one, then honestly, ain't shit I can do about that. Okay. It looks like it is, in fact, going to be a Dwarven Mine. So now let's see if they have another fetch land to get a second dwarf, or if they're just going to creativity X's 1. Okay. So I'm honestly pretty fine with that. I don't know why you didn't attack. Did they fetch this turn? No, that was last turn. Whatever, untapping. Ooh. Okay. So I can hold up Solitude / Lightning Bolt, or, yeah, and if I Lightning Bolt, then I can Timeless Dragon. Yeah, sure, I'm here for that. That's fine. I could also simply play Fable. Is playing Fable better? Still holding up Bolt, still holding up Solitude. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, what's this? Oh, they're just bolting my friend. All right, good night, sweet prince. Okay, that sucks immensely. That's no bueno for us. So what ends up happening here is that they're going to cast Creativity, Access 2. Assuming they don't have a Spell Pierce, which blows up my entire plan here. There's one. Okay. God, this is gross. No. Let's just pitch this. All right, so that whole spell fizzles. Okay, and I have a Fury, a Den of the Bugbear, and the ability to buy Obosh. So don't really have too much to complain about. Don't get me wrong, I'll probably try to find a way. Oh yeah, Abel's still in play. Oh my god, I'm correct. Yes, and discard, definitely Ephemerate. I'll keep Fury. Oh, Spyro. Oh my god, that might actually be a lot better. So Spyro can get me another Bolt, which lets me interact with exactly one copy of Dwarven Mine into a Creativity. So let's see if I can spin that or March of Otherworldly Light. Solitude, Blood Moon. Not good this turn, potentially very good next turn. And even if they resolve one copy of Archon here, I'm actually not even that sad about it, because my Solitude can still just be cast for 5. Oh, and there's a Bolt. Sick. Even better. That means I think I actually want to cast my Blood Moon here. Yeah, so we're going to do this. They take it and go to 10. I do like that. And here I'm going to just cast the Blood Moon. So if they respond by fetching out a Dwarven token here, a white source. Okay, let's see what the white source does for you. Aha, Leyline Binding. Okay, sure. Yeah, can't do anything about that. You got it. All right, so Blood Moon is now off the table, and I still have a Bolt for a token though. Also, that just means too that like the binding didn't go here, which is also really nice. Okay, so, and I'm gonna kill this one now before they have blue mana. They keep tapping everything but this. So if they had kept up like a Xander's Lounge or a Steam Vents, then I might have had to like really work hard to play around something like a Spell Pierce. But they've been signaling fairly hard that they just like don't have it. Okay, so there goes my Reflection token. That's unfortunate, but happens. And they get to make a token with their thing too. So I really, oh, thank God. All right, cool. I was worried. A white card, which actually means this might be the turn I get to grab Obosh. Maybe, probably not. No, I don't need to do anything, because if they don't have the thing, then I can attack with Den of the Bugbear. If they do have the thing, then I get the Solitude. Ren in 6, you can get rid of my token. Nope, we're instead going to be getting a thing back. Okay, so this works fairly well for me, because like their only target I can Solitude now. All right, show me potato salad. All right, sorry buddy, it's there. All right, cool, so we're up a game over Creativity. And this is where we talked about having the no Obosh plan, since we're gonna put in all of these even costed things. Cards that I don't really care about in this matchup include what? Fury specifically is not really where I want to be in life, I think. I'm not really hung up on Ephemerate here either. 6 plus 5 is 17 white cards for Solitude purposes. I think that's on the lower end of acceptable, but still acceptable. And I think I'd much rather have that than subbing out any of the 2 other cards. Yeah, I'm fine with this. This looks all right. Our hand is actually quite good. Nice. All right. So it's not terribly proactive, but like, we're not the one who's playing the combo deck, so we are allowed to take a bit of a controlling role for a bit while we try to establish at least one of our hate cards. Okay, so let's see what it is they come up with. No anything on turn 1. I don't know, I keep expecting decks to kind of pivot sometimes, and they just like never do, but I still tell myself they will at some point for some reason. I'm wrong, but I still tell myself. So one of the better things they could be doing here is grabbing a Ren in 6 is going to feel pretty good on a board where I'm not really doing too much. And they shock that in, so I have to assume that's what's happening here. It is. Okay, so you get Ren in 6, they get their fetch land back, and I am going to grab a Triumph. Solitude is pretty good later. Yeah, so I guess Ren in 6 is a really good reason to have wanted to keep Fury in the deck. So if I want to take out like Bolts, for example, nah, I think I'd take out Kiki's and or Spyros before those. Okay, untap. So I'm still going to get the other planes here. This gives me the option to still like just cast my Solitude later on. But I do also got to get to work on that in a turn or 2. So we got a little bit of work cut out for us is what I'm getting at here. Prismari, okay. And 6 is so good. I'm like borderline mad at how good that card is. Okay, what's happening here? Fable. Yeah, I'm not gonna press them about the Fable. I can at the very least like untap Fable, sorry, untap and like use Teferi bounce this thing. I guess I've also could have just like bolted it, but whatever, that's not what I chose to do. So let's do this first. Teferi. Oh, it just resolved. Okay. Shaman down. So this could lead to me feeling obviously really stupid soon. If they just get to like, I don't know, like Dwarven Mine untap creativity for 2, because then I'm not going to get to like use my Hallowed Moonlight the way I wanted to. I'll instead have to like exile for Solitude and then bolt the other token. So I guess that should have been something I considered, but I do have a Spyro to dig out from that little bit of mana woe. Still doesn't make it a great turn. Like they're just going to be ahead on a whole lot of scales here, unless I can draw like a prismatic ending to deal with that Renin 6, but it's getting to the point where I really wanted to not be waiting anywhere near that long for that. All right, so if they want to finish it off now, they have to tick down on Renin 6, and they do choose to do that. Okay. Oh no, they can just creativity for 2 anyway. Gross. Oh, they don't have it. All right, that is a huge, huge, huge plus for me. Granted, I'm still really far behind, but it doesn't make it less of a huge plus. So let's untap. I roll again. I want to play one of those, and I can get rid of Den plus second Spyro. Yeah, and Inspiring Vantage. Okay. I've got another Bolt, I've got the Solitude line, I still have Hallowed Moonlight. Okay. Still isn't preferable, like they can just tick down on my other token and start attacking with their Goblin Shaman. Granted, yes, I will be, blocking it, but lots of options still. So we're gonna let them loot, Spellpierce, and Dwarven Mine. Okay. That means their hand has to be nuts. Like if they just like drew another Spellpierce for the turn for, oh, they're just casting EI. Okay. I mean, I don't like that, but you got it. Calling Tarn. Noted. Getting back to Dwarven Mine. Yep. Okay. And I will be blocking with my Spyro. And obviously having my Spyro off the table isn't exactly the best case scenario, but I do have currently the upside of having put these in the graveyard now, whereas they don't have tokens. And the more of their creatures I get off the table, the less chances they have to have a really crazy creativity later on. Because even though I've got it somewhat managed currently, I'm nowhere near free of harm here. So I'm going to cast my Blood Moon, knowing that I didn't put in Leyline Binding. Or I'm sorry, put in Wear and Tear for Leyline Binding. Okay, so they're going to get another token, and they're floating mana for said Leyline Binding. Okay, I still get to do that though. Now, if they just go ahead and cast it, I can't really do much about that, but it is kind of what it is. Yep. But even that's okay, because that's still only one of those down. Not really attacking through a 2/2 here. So let's just... Oh, I probably should have gotten rid of that with the Lightning Bolt. Like, I'm not doing anything with the Bolt. Okay, so I suppose this is one of those boards where a copy of Fury would have felt real nice earlier. A few times. And Teferi. I'm going to move to game 3 if y'all don't mind. Okay, so I guess I do want you guys... I am going to get rid of Marches, and I guess I do want these, and get rid of specifically Fable first and then Spyro. Since we know they're a Spellpierce deck, I want to walk Fable into counter spells a lot less often. And I don't want Ephemerate, nah. So now let's be on the play, and we see a turn 1 Rags with some good stuff. Sick. This is not all we could have asked for, but it's pretty good. Like a turn 2 Teferi would really like show us the way right now. So let's first actually see if our Rags manages to untap, because that may or may not even be likely to happen. Okay. We drew another Hallowed Moonlight, which is kind of sick. Let's go ahead and declare an attack. Looks like it's gonna live. I just wanna live. Oh, well, I can't play that, so now they can have like a Renin 6 to kind of pick this off, and not much I can do about that. But if I can like draw a Fury or something else to save this thing, that'll be pretty sick. But it looks like even that's not going to happen. Hell yeah. So here I'm just going to go ahead and Marsh Flats. Go grab a Plains. Plains Cycle. Grab another Plains. So that we could draw Blood Moon. Never didn't have it. Alright. And a Bolt. Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and cast a Blood Moon now that I'm able to play around Spellpierce too. Thanks, Rags. You're great. Alright. Hope you got, I don't know, a basic Plains to deal with that. Whew, man. Look at us go. Blood mooning people like big boys and girls. And yeah, match 1, 2-0. Let's go. Welcome to round 3, y'all. Despite what the counter here says, we are actually 2-0, not 0-0. But we did win a die roll. Let's reveal Obosh and see what our opening hand contains. This is fine. Like, I've got a way to get a basic Plains. I've got a turn 3 Blood Moon. I've got a reactive spell here in Prismatic Ending. And I've also got both Fury and Solitude. So Yeah, I'm in for this. Let's keep this hand. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and lead off with the Arid Mesa, and this does a couple of things for us, right? Like, I could go ahead and fetch like a Triumph at the end of the turn, but honestly, I'm not really feeling that. Instead, I'm just gonna get a basic plane so that I can play into this Blood Moon that I'm already looking at here. So let's look for that. Snow-covered plains, then we can do the lovely untap step. Hallowed Fountain is the draw. I don't really have anything I want to be doing with the mana here, so this might actually be decent too, because leading off like this might kind of trick our opponent into thinking that we're just playing like some blue-white control deck. So they might be wondering why I got a basic plains here, but Darcy, okay, so we're just playing against Murktide, which actually means that I probably want to jam Fable instead of the Blood Moon, because this can just get a basic island, and this deck certainly plays enough, just like generally nice things off of even one blue source there. So I can play Blood Moon knowing that I have a plains, and then worry/care about things like Rags and Murktide later. I can jam Fable and hope to dodge a Spell Pierce. I'm gonna play the Blood Moon. So Blood Moon does a couple things here. Even if they go ahead and do this and get a basic island and don't have a Spell Pierce, then okay, well they do, so that kind of is what it is. But in the event that they didn't have a Spell Pierce there, then one thing that they could have done here is gotten this, but I'm still okay with them not having like two Murktides, for example. Sorry, two blue for Murktide, not two Murktides. What the hell am I talking about? Don't mind me, everybody. Long day. Okay, so now are we casting another creature? Another Darcy with 3 card types. Is there a bauble? Looks like there's no bauble, so that's going to look really good for our Fury here. So I'm going to get to Fury, pitch Fury, and then resolve a Fable as well. I do like that for just us. And a Den of the Bugbear is actually not a bad draw. So let's start here, do this, and then I'm going to do this now. Yeah, whatever. Let's just call it 2 and 2. So they do have a lot more cards in hand than we do currently, but this can attack and in theory get us a nice little treasure token, so never mind. So that we might have been able to cast Solitude. This is Rags. I am gonna let them hit me with Rags. That's, yeah, you got it. But let's see what happens off of this Rags, because I think I would rather let them hit me with Rags once than like definitely empty my hand, especially if with this next turn I can untap, drop either pending or whatever I draw, and simply get a second land so that I can have Solitude here. So that would be really nice. So let's see what ends up happening here. No, they took the other planes, you jerk. Love you too. Okay, so the Fury was actually pretty good though. So I am going to still pitch to pending, and a Bolt is not what I wanted, but it's not bad either. So here I'm just going to go ahead and buy Obosh, hold the Bolt in hand, and if one of the cards that they're holding isn't named Counterspell, then I suppose I'm pretty happy about that. Is that an EI or is this Rags? This is going to be Rags. Okay. Now let's go ahead, let them declare Rags as an attacker so that we can try to bolt this guy. See if our bolt is going to be allowed to resolve. Looks like maybe not. Okay, is this just a counterspell? It is literally a counterspell. Okay. Got an opponent. Can't do much about that. So now what do they take? They take an Inspiring Vantage. That's actually fine. I didn't want that. So they have 2 cards left and we draw. Okay, so it's actually not bad for us. So here I'm going to go ahead and what do I want to do with this Timeless Dragon? I want to use it to plane cycle. So let's go ahead, guarantee our land drop here. And I'm going to just grab the other Sacred Foundry. I don't want to grab the Triome because when I get a 5th land, I might actually want to cycle the Triome. So let's just play this, and we know that we can block with the Reflections since they only have 2 cards left, and then next turn, I can choose between having Timeless Dragon or any of my 5 drops on deck. So all of those are pretty decent options. If they just like leave up a bunch of mana, then I might just go with the 4/4 from Timeless Dragon since it's not like they can go ahead and, excuse me, it's not like they can counter that. Unholy Heat. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get a dashed Rags here. That sucks. And whatever they just took, they put on top of their deck too. So that's going to be obnoxious. And they took a Spyro. Crap, that's going to be really good for them. If they want to get rid of 2 of the treasure tokens to play Spyro, I think, yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. That makes perfect sense to me. So what are they going to be discarding? A Dress Down. Oh, Dress Down's in their main. Okay. Well, dress down in their main, that might actually mean that instead of looking at oh, that's actually not bad. Instead of looking at something like oh, what am I thinking? Words are hard. Like a Murktide region deck. I don't see a Gigantha revealed from them, but this could still just be an Underworld Breach deck instead. So I'm going to go 3 and 4, killing the flyer. And it's not like Spyro can attack through a Fury. So if they want to like dash Rags or something, they basically got to have another Bolt here, which is totally an option. They could just have another Bolt, but it's also could just like literally just be Murktide, but you know, having access to dress down in the main deck. Not something we see super often, but pretty good. Okay, so there's a Murktide. It's an 8/8, you know, large and in charge and all that good stuff. So the first thing I want to do here is try to find a way to really like stress out their counter spells. So what I can do here is Obosh, so that when Fury attacks, it can attack for up to 12. So that's an available option. I can also just like Timeless Dragon here. I think I actually like that better. Now I've got a 4/4 flyer, and if they want to do anything, you know, super terrible to my Timeless Dragon, then that's at least a card that I know about that's not like a counterspell. And if they end up like drawing a counterspell here and I should have cast it a turn earlier, then I guess kind of so be it. I can respond to this EI by solituding the Murktide. Is that something I want or need to do right now? Because we know one of their cards is Rags, but we don't know the other two. I think I do want to do this now. So if they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. But I think this is my best chance to try to dodge one. Okay, couldn't dodge one. Sad times. And they have a Bolt for my Fury too? Yikes. I mean, they could also just, you know, okay, yeah. So Bolt is for my Fury. I'm very sad. If they attack with both, I'm going to block my own Spyro and go to 2. And hope that one of their 2 cards is not another Bolt. If so, I can't really do much about it. Of course. All right, you got it. So against them, I want Firewalkers. We want Teferis and Relics. Cards I don't really care about include Blood Moons and Fables. Don't really want too many Fables against the Spell Pierce deck. I don't mind not being an Obosh deck since I'm going to be on the play with Firewalkers, and just having something that, you know, makes Rags really not a threat and provides some very small splash damage to their Murktide regions by exiling all the bolts and whatnot from the graveyards. Wait, no, that's Chorus. That's Sanctifier, in fact. Never mind. No splash damage. Y'all tell I am all the way out of brain cells right now. This might be a 2-day recording, everybody. Okay, so let's play first. And our hand is Triumph Double Mountain, but this Timeless Dragon can go and get us a Plains too. So I'm actually kind of in for this hand. Okay, so we're going to play the Triumph turn 1 and then see what they come at us with. If they just have like their own turn 1 Rags, then we can pending. If they do, well, nothing, then I'm holding up Timeless Dragon to go get a land. So either way, I'm not sad about this. Whoa, untapped, huh? Okay, so I'm not playing Rags here, so you can consider if you have a consider. Okay, and it looks like that is what's going to happen. So here, if they dash a Rags, then I am sad about that. But I guess I'm not the saddest about being able to potentially just like untap and cast this. Let's do that. Let's get a Plains, do the untap, and a March of Otherworldly Light is the draw. Not bad. So here I want to... I think I'm just going to jam Spyro, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I am just going to jam Spyro. All right, let's see if there's a counterspell. So, yes, oh well. Got to start getting the counterspells out somehow. And dress down, so no draw. So I just have a 2/2. I'm okay with that, actually. That's not that bad. I mean, it's annoying, but I still now have a blocker for a dashed Rags. Like, I still have most of my nice things for other purposes. Fury can kill Ledger Shredder, so can pending. So I'm not that sad about this. This is fine. Ching another Ledger Shredder. Which also reminds me, do these decks typically still play Ledger Shredder? I didn't even know that was like a normal inclusion to these decks still. I thought that was kind of one of those by the wayside things. Oh well. So we're going to pending this, using this and this, knowing full well that we have access to a March of Otherworldly Light if they're going to come at us with a Rags here. And I guess the same goes for like a Darcy, since they do have 4 types, right? Enchantment, instant, land, creature. Yeah. Okay, so we're leading off with a Bauble. That doesn't really tell me much of anything. Is this just a big-ass Murktide? Murktide can be a max of a 5/5 currently. I guess I'm okay with that.
Power off.
Attack of the Bluetooth speaker. Never, ever fails. I always forget to turn it off before doing this. Still. Okay. Murktide region. Entered the chat. Understood. And it's a 5/5. So this does dodge a like a Fury. So this being only 4 is pretty different from 5. So I can do a few things here. I can just make an attempt to resolve my second Spyro, and if so, I can like play this, hold up March of Otherworldly Light, where X is 1 to dodge a dashed Rags. I can attack into this and attempt to Fury Pitch, but a counterspell ruins that entire plan, so that's kind of ass. So what I think I'm going to do here is just play the mountain, cast Spyro, pitch March of Otherworldly Light and Inspiring Vantage if it resolves, and then know that next turn I can follow up with Timeless Dragon plus do something. I think that is a plan. So let's see if this resolves. It does. Okay, well, I guess that's a good start. So 1-2, Iganjo. I don't think that changes anything for this turn, but it's not bad for potential later. Nothing smart to do there. I don't have a Solitude to kill Murktide with this fetch on the stack, unfortunately. That would have been a really good time to jam that. And a Consider, you got it. Okay, so we're not going to try to attack, which I guess is all right with me. Since now, oh, that might change things. Okay, so I can attack all and just Iganjo them. I love that for us. All right. Yeah, this feels pretty good, not gonna lie. Oh, wait. Ah, there we go. So we're putting a stop at the end combat step. This is like, I guess, the Blessed Alliance step here, so that if I Iganjo now and just do this, then they can go ahead and lightning bolt this in response, taking 4 damage here and then having their Murktide Regent live. I can't put damage on the stack because that's not how the rules work. But here in the end combat step, this is still considered a blocking creature. So I am going to have my Spyro die here, but end combat, this works. And now I'm going to go to my second main phase. So we get to do that. And I've got an Ephemerate for my Spyro as well. So if they try to go ahead and kill this with a bolt or something, then I'm going to be able to get an opportunity to just kind of like pitch my 1 Fury for 2 new cards, and then potentially 2 more cards in my upkeep if I want to Ephemerate the Spyro again. So that actually felt pretty good there in my Iganjo's use, so I don't need to stop here anymore. But that's definitely going to be something that's like really cool to know. I guess not all the brain cells are dead, right? What are we doing with 4 mana? Oh, we're casting Subtlety. Yeah, that's cool. All right. I am not mad at that. Subtlety is a card that I've loved for a pretty long time, so I am very happy to see that get some love. And potentially, more importantly for us, I've got a lovely Fury with that thing's name all over it. So they're going to try to block again. Okay, so let's grab our Sacred Foundry with that. Yeah, untap. It still evades a dashed Rags, which, upon thinking about this twice, I don't really know that this was worth the not having Obosh. So mistakes might have been made there. So let's see. I can just like cast the Fury and see if they are holding another counterspell. I have seen 0 counterspell, so the likelihood of that happening is pretty damn high, which probably means I just want to do this with our friend Timeless Dragon and make a 4/4. So if they have an Unholy Heat, then whatever, you got it. But if it's something else, then I suppose I'm pretty happy about that. And of course, I'm a fan of making them just kind of like deal with stuff that they can't counter. So like having this as a 4/4 when this is a 3/3 is pretty sick. And I have seen 0 Unholy Heats, so again, the likelihood of this dying is fairly high, but gotta start getting the things out somehow. Yeah, you got it. And unfortunately, Ephemerating that's not going to do us too much good. So let's see here. What's this? Another Consider? Oh, a Braid. Yeah, I'm going to try to Ephemerate this. I don't really want either of these currently. Like, the Fury's not bad, but I don't know that that's really what I want. I think I want 2 new cards instead. Yeah, that wasn't bad. So I think I will try to Ephemerate the Spyro again, because I don't want these either. So let's do this again. Oh, all right. I'm in for that, I guess. 1, 2. Oh, that's way better for me. All right, cool. So now I'm going to just try to bolt this thing, see what happens to that, if anything. A counterspell. Okay, understood. And let's just try to cast a Fury. If they have another counterspell, then I guess I got. But if not, that's going to feel pretty decent. Oh, boo. All right, whatever. Your mother. All right, fine. So now we are pretty lackluster as far as the gas goes. But even still... Oh, well, fuck, that feels pretty good. I guess I'm just going to start attacking with the tokens and make them take 4. Okay, feel free to take your 4. I'm cool with that. You go to 7. And here I can, end of turn, make Spyro tokens after attempting to ephemerate this Spyro as well. So that might feel pretty decent. Let's see if that ends up being some kind of path to victory. They're starting off with an EI. So I'm going to respond to the EI by trying to ephemerate my Spyro now. Let's see if I can get away with that. Because if so, and I draw a bolt, then I can also potentially, damn it, I was going to say I can also potentially bolt the subtlety in response to that. So that's not going to happen. So it looks like their EI is going to go ahead and resolve. So I'm going to yield until next end step, because that's when I'm going to be able to make use of my end of turn Spyro ability. Okay, we are of course worried about the life total. So let's make more Spyro tokens here. Untap, get to take a draw, so do we, and Firewalker's actually kind of okay because of the fact that we have exactly 7 mana. So I can like cast a Firewalker, just present it as another threat, it doesn't matter whether the threat's actually decent or not, and still have enough mana to activate my Spyro ability at the end of turn here. So that's probably going to catch, ooh, a Spell Snare, cool, alright, you got it. I don't know why Spell Snare is in against the deck that revealed Obosh in game 1, but okay. You know what? You got it, I guess. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what is this? Bolting one of my tokens, understood. So they have only one more card left. So if that one card doesn't deal with like 6 tokens here, then yeah, Dress Down's not good enough. Let's see if Dress Down draws them something that is good enough. Game 3 it is. All right, so we're on the draw. And if they're going to keep in the Spell Snares, I'm actually just going to take these back out and put Fables back in. I mind Fable the least out of all of our cards. And this gives us, of course, access to our lovely friend Obosh again. So yeah, let's just do that. So here's our companion back. And what do we got? Relic, Bolt, Pending, and some lands. You know what? I think I'm okay with this. So a turn 1 Rags, I've got a Bolt and a Pending to answer. I've got Relic to keep stupid Murktide region offline. Yeah, I don't think I can complain too much about this. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to, but I don't think I can. So they kept 7, we kept 7. Companion has been revealed. Opponent hopefully draws his Spell Snare and doesn't get to use it. Seriously, why Spell Snare in your deck, opponent? Okay, so turn 1 Darcy, we do draw another land, which I suppose I'm not the happiest about. But here I want to simply do this. I'm going to resolve this while the getting's good. So if they dash a Rags and I took down my Bolt, then yeah, sure, I'm sad about that, right? But if they don't exactly dash a Rags here, this Relic's going to feel pretty good. And it looks like that's not happening with this here. So I'm going to do, wait, they can't get to 4 right now. So they can consider something. Oh, they put it on top anyway. All right, so it's probably a bauble. There's a fetch. Understood. So now I'm still just going to do this now. I do take the 1. I won't go so far as, oh, come on. I won't go so far as to say it's whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, it could certainly be a lot worse. So let's go ahead and pay 1 for our Pending, try to get rid of Darcy, see if it catches a Spell Snare. It does not, which is great news for just us. And if they crack the fetch, I will get rid of the consider with the thing, and it looks like that's not what's happening here. So what they're doing with this is playing around my tap ability by holding this, and what that does for them is it lets them use the fetch now in response to this ability so that they can exile the Misty instead of the consider. Nope, never mind, they're waiting for a bubble. Sure, I'm all right with that, I guess. Solitude's actually not bad. So we're going to play our 3rd Inspiring Vantage here, and I'm just going to do this. Kind of get that while the getting's good, right? So I'm not exactly the most hype about not having like my own Rags or anything to do really to like pressure the cards in their hand. But as of right now, they're also not doing much to pressure the cards in my hand. So let's really just kind of see what happens here. Mishra's Bauble entered the exile zone. That's pretty good for just them. Let's do this. See if they don't, nope, they don't bother with the Misty once again. So instead they can like bauble themselves and then do the, fetch trick, which is where they simply use the bauble, decide whether they want the card on top, and then fetch land if they don't want the card that's on top. But it looks like the card was pretty good for them, so yeah. Another Solitude. I don't hate that. So I'm gonna do this. We still don't have any like threats or things to do that cost less than 5, but honestly, just a line of like Obosh, Solitude, Solitude doesn't really feel bad. Like they can't cast Murktide Regent really anytime soon, and I'm fairly okay with, oh, Letter Shredder? Yeah, you got that. So Letter Shredders, all right. So we're going to first do this, and now that their Connive trigger's still on the stack, I'm going to try to kill this while it's still a 1-3. Hell yeah, get out of here. So they do still get to loot, and they get to resolve their consider, but hey, no Ledger Shredder on the table. So now, this is turn 5, so they could play a land if they had one. Oh crap, they could play a land if they had one. So that means I should be doing this. This turns off a Murktide Regent if they draw a land or had a land. And yes, they could have simply like Murktide Regent, and then that gives me a window to cast Solitude here. But I think I would rather just like resolve my Obosh right now. Ooh, that'll be good next turn. So here I'm just going to shock this in, and shocking that instead of playing my basic planes, what that does is if for some ungodly reason they have Blood Moon in their deck still, then they can play that, effectively waste a turn, and I still have a basic planes here. Realistically, there's no freaking way they actually have Blood Moon in their deck right now. But on the hilarious off chance they do, then I will give them a chance to play it. Please do not mistake that for me actually believing there's one in there, though. Okay, so here's a Darcy. And Darcy as a 1-1, we seriously do not care about. So let's see what I want to do with this turn. What do we draw? Another Relic. That's really good. So here I'm just going to go ahead and attack first. This will do 6 if they don't block. So taking them down to 9 is going to feel pretty good if that's what we're allowed to do. Yeah, go to 9. So first I'm going to cast my Relic, and then this. Let's get rid of their EI. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to cast Rags and distract them for a turn with it. So if they have like a Bolt or something, I really do not care if they want to use a Bolt for this. Like I'm actually pretty okay with that if that's what they want to do. As long as they're not like, you know, using double Bolt for this, for example. And then doing that will also allow me to like have this lovely Den of the Bugbear, which, oh, we're going to clean up. I didn't even see that or notice it really. So here, what can I do? I can attack all, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to attack all, and that includes Den of the Bugbear. So what happens here is if my Den of the Bugbear is allowed to do its cool thing, they take down some mana, and I get in for any source of 3 damage, I have a Lightning Bolt in hand, and the Bolt will actually, never mind. I was going to say the Bolt will actually do 6, but this is still not bad for me, actually. Yeah. So like I can just do this though. They can Bolt either my land or my Rags. They block Obosh, they take 5, they go to 4. I'm still pretty okay with that. What are they killing? The land? They're killing the land and going to 7. I'm fine with that. Oh, killing Rags as well. Not bad, opponent. Okay, and I'm going to do this now. I want 0 part of you actually participating in a game. Oh, whoops, that was a mistake. I should have just let... Yeah, I could have put a stop in my own end step and then let this die and then still used my Relic. Whoops. I could have gotten them for 1 more card. More importantly, 1 more card type, since enchantment totally matters. So, misplay on my end. Unlicensed Hearse, I do not care. And let's see if we're allowed to get an attack in. What are we doing? They could have what? They could have Brazenbower's Petty Theft? That's a thing they could have. I'm gonna... Alright, I'm just gonna attack. And looks like we're taking 6 going to 2. Ooh, yeah, they're at 2. Alright, I love that for us. Here's a Fable. Okay, let's... 1. They're at 1, everybody. So now if they cast Counterspell with this and this, I get to do this. Because this costs a life and they're at 1. So, get got? Get got. Let's go. 3-0. Woo! Welcome to round 4. We're playing against Gabba Gandalf, which is honestly a pretty sweet username. Let's befriend our friend Obosh and find out which Giganta deck they're playing. So I've got a 1-lander, but the 1-lander has a Rags. I don't have the ability to protect it with Ephemerate right now, and even if I do hit a Rag, I'm sorry, something cool off of Rags, I'm not guaranteed another land to play a Fable on turn 2. But if I do hit with Rags and draw a land, Rag into Fable, but I can also clear a blocker. You know what? Fuck it. I think I'm going to try this. This is really greedy, and if I'm being completely real, probably not that great. But I feel like being greedy and trying it, so that's what's going to happen here. So if I were on the draw, there's absolutely 0 chance in hell for any reason I'm willing to keep this hand. But, okay. Let's be sad that we didn't hit a land. Oh, no, 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 no. Please just get like a Triumph. That's not a Triumph. Shit. Our nefarious plans. Okay, yeah, we're dead. Unfortunate. So this plus this into this means we're probably playing against creativity yet again. Inquisition. Okay. Inquisition can take one of our 2 fables, but we are now getting really punished for that greedy hand we kept. So this still doesn't tell me though whether we're playing against creativity, which can play all of this stuff, or whether we're playing against like just black-red scam. We could even be playing against, yep, I was gonna say, we could even be playing against Ragavan. So let's see if that's what ends up happening. You are a little late, but still appreciated. I would have really loved that last turn so that we could have protected Rags with the Ephemerate too and didn't really gone off. And the fact that neither of these cards are like a March of Otherworldly Light means I don't get to body this for free, but I guess it is what it is. Okay, so here our job is to... Ooh, a land for that would have been really nice too, but this is what we get for not taking a mulligan, so I knew this was a risk going into it. Okay, so we're not making a construct, we're making mana. So that actually worries me a little bit about what this turn's going to contain, because if the mana is more important than that, then I don't know how long for this world we kind of are right now, right? Okay, so they're playing another Inquisition, which means I am going to bolt this. What's this? Exile top 2 cards, play 1. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That card's really good. Now they can take really anything they want with the Inquisition, but we're no longer stuck facing down some crazy amount of Saga tokens, which is nice. They do take the Blood Moon, which is pretty annoying if I'm being real, but let's see what they get with this research desk. A Catacombs, that's pretty good. So here though, if we're gonna be playing against this kind of fair pile, I still just really want to draw land. Perfect. So now if I play Fable, it doesn't make me sad if they have like 1 removal spell, right? Like if this is Abrupt Decay mana and they get rid of either Fable or the token, I'm not particularly super sad either way. It does make me a little sad that I know these Ephemerates are not going to be really doing a whole metric crap ton of good there, but like that was fine. They used the Maelstrom Pulse to get rid of that. They can use a Fatal Push here if they really want to, but now I'm still up on stuff, right? Like I'm the one who has things like a Spyro. I'm the one who has things like a Pending. I want to get rid of just 1 Ephemerate, and I do want to get rid of the Pending, I think. Yeah, that was not bad. So a Timeless Dragon plus Fury is pretty sweet. Like Timeless Dragon can get me my 4th land drop, which is definitely something I'm interested in. And while I'm still not gonna have another Blood Moon here, having one at some point here would be pretty nice. So let's... Okay, so there's Rags. And the fact that Rags can trade with one of these isn't the worst, but it's also not like great. So let's just attack here, because it might end up being the case that Rags is a little more valuable as a thing to pitch to Fury rather than as something that I actually want on its own as a threat here. Because like if they just go ahead and get like Saga tokens, then I'm not really doing too much with that. But here I can use the Timeless Dragon, get the land, and advance myself towards either Hardcasted Fury, or I can start like getting back Spyros. But here, if they try to go like completely apeshit on their, what am I thinking of? On their creature plan here, like if they make a token, they make another token, they try to do something like, I don't know, Shadow Spear with this, then I have the available line next turn of Fury, pitch Rags, and then Ephemerate Fury. So even if these tokens get fairly large here, I might still not have to be scared of them, which is really nice as far as thoughts go. So they get Nile Spellbomb, which is actually going to be really good against my Dragon and my Spyro. So won't lie and say I appreciate that part. But I'm still not ultra sad here. I mean, I'm sad, but like it could be a lot worse. If they have a Thoughtseize, then I'm really sad. Proving Ground and their own Rags. So I'm just going to get to do everything. So now we get to untap here. And all of the... Oh, my Lanta. So this cuts them off of multiple black, and it cuts them off of future sagas. So I am definitely here for all of that. So let's cast by exiling Rags. And I want the evoke trigger on here last. I want to 1, 2, 3, and that will clear out all of the things. But I also want to do that. 1, 2, 3. So now board's dead. Fury is not. Blood Moon survives. I get to attack. And don't get me wrong, I'm still nowhere near out of it because they do still have these forests in the swamp that they got. But now I can spend like the next couple of turns attacking with Fury unless they can do something about this right now. I can buy Obosh and set up just another card in my hand. My 2 1/1s are still kind of chugging along here. So it could certainly be a lot worse. And a Bolt is like fine-ish. Okay, so they buy Gigantha, and let's see what we get. A rebound and ephemerate is not something I feel like doing on this board. What do we get? A bolt. A bolt is actually not bad, I guess. So now you go down to 8. Nope, you go down to 9. And to be completely honest, them using a fatal push on one of my tokens also doesn't really make me sad. I've got a bolt if they want to dash rags instead of casting Gigantha this turn. So if, nope, looks like we're just casting Gigantha, which I think is correct from them. We have Iganjo. Okay. So that means I'm actually going to get to clear the Gigantha too. So what I can do here is like Bolt plus Iganjo if they attack with Gigantha here. Since this is in my hand and not in play, we really don't care about the fact that Blood Moon exists for Iganjo purposes. That is not relevant here. So let's see what the research desk gets them. This card's actually kind of really good. Pyrite Spellbomb. So they can use a Pyrite Spellbomb if they want to clear my blocker and try to start attacking here. Lucky me, I already have this token here. So I'm actually going to do the same thing as last time with Iganjo and set, not damage, and set a stop in the end of combat here. So I'm going to block here and they take the 1 damage. If they want to clear out the token, they can do so. But like this is still considered to be an attacking creature. So that's going to do the other 4 damage to Gigantha here. And so now I have the ability to probably make this relatively useless. And if I end up having a land for the turn here, I can just cast Obosh. And I do. Oh, it's even the other basic. So now if I draw Solitude, that's live? Hell yeah. So they can do something to this, right? Like we saw that they have things like, that's fine. We saw that they have things like the Maelstrom Pulse. Yep, Terminate was always an option. But now any of our top decks are still fairly live. And, oh, Renin 6. That's kind of dicks. Sekenzin. Oh, man, that's going to be really good for them. So, like, that's actually really sweet combo where they have Sekenzin plus Renin 6. That's, like, infinite tokens there. And this is them playing around a dashed rag, so I think that's good for them. Ephemerate is not a good draw, so... Raggy. I think this is where we would really appreciate just having another copy of Fury here. That would be really nice. But until that happens, they're going to get this sweet little Renin 6 plus Sekenzin loop going on here. So they're just going to have a million tokens in play. And I am just currently stuck being sad about that. Let's see if I can draw an elemental. Not quite. Not close. So here they've got a 2-turn clock. They can discard Sekenzin end of turn, have 6 tokens. I go from 12 to 6, and then they can just like buy it back with the Renin 6 to kind of keep that ball rolling. But this is what I was talking about earlier with them not being completely sad through the Blood Moon. It's clearly helping because now they only have 1 green and 1 black source and no ability for further Urza Sagas to matter. But Sekenzin plus this is just a way that I can die here. And I will certainly die if I'm not doing anything about it. So let's see what I can draw. Elemental. We need an elemental. That is not an elemental. We are dead. That's unfortunate. So we lose to Jund. And what do I want against them? I want Teferis. I want Wear and Tears. And I want Relics. Cards that I don't really care about against them include what? Like all of this stuff. I'm on the play, so Rags is still pretty decent, but like not great since they are ultra prepared for it. And actually, I think I'm going to take Relics back out. I think Relics like fine, but not super duper fantastic, you know? Do I think Relic is better than Teferi here? That answer might actually be yes. That might be a little better. Yeah, let's try this. Like Relic is fine, but I don't know that it's necessary. I could be just having the problem of like, you know, where people tend to over sideboard things like surgical extraction, and I don't really want to do that. Instead, I think I'm going to just like give the deck the potential for early rags, but not necessarily make it like a plan, you know, because they do play enough removal to make that plan not a great one. But like, guess this is okay. So here I can Steam Vent tap, and then if they do something I care about, like their own rags or like a Darcy or something, I can untap Prismatic Ending, and then start getting to work on turn 3 with things like Fury, since I do have all the lands necessary for that. If they just like Thought Seize me, I guess that's fine. Inquisition can take Spiral or Pending, but neither of the elementals. They take the Spyro. Got it. Dash Rags? Nope. So I'm just going to go ahead and my Inspiring Vantage, holding up my Iganjo, since we do know that attackers can be relevant here. If they dash Rags, I don't think I'm going to Solitude. Nile Spellbomb, I guess, is fine. They can get rid of my Spyro, but oh well. There's a dashed Rags. Okay. So I think I am going to try to dash to Rags. So this is, of course, walking into any of Fatal Push, Bolt, Unholy Heat, whatever. But that is why I only wanted 2 of them in here. Oh, but it looks like it's just going to hit. Sick. So what do I get? I get an Inquisition. I think I want to cast that. I think casting this Inquisition for me might be a little bit better than generating the 1 mana, even though the mana gives me the ability to cast my elementals next turn. So let's... Oh, Renin 6. I think I am going to take the Renin 6 rather than the Maelstrom Pulse. Let's think about that. Maelstrom Pulse doesn't particularly have a job right now, but it could get rid of Fury down the road. But I think Renin 6 is just like way better. So let's just get rid of that and make it a hopefully non-issue. So they can pop the Spell Bomb if they want to here, and it looks like they will. So hopefully they don't draw a, I don't know, Fatal Push Unholy Heat or something like that for when I try to dash Rags next turn. So let's see what ends up actually happening here. Saga. Okay, not a fan of them drawing that, but I am glad that I got rid of Renin 6 if that's what they have for turn here. And they're just going to buy Giganta with their turn, so we know their entire hand, I think. No, we know their hand -1. We don't know what they drew from the other thing. So let's dash Rags once more, get an attack in while the getting's good. And then the cool thing about double pending, too, is that I'll be able to Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm in for that. So I can take Giganta or I can take the Maelstrom Pulse here, and I think I actually care a lot more about the Maelstrom Pulse. Since I know that I have the Solitude and or Fury for Giganta here, if I draw a land, I can just say fuck it and Solitude the Giganta on its own here. So they will be able to make a token with this, but I think that's legitimately fine. They have an Inquisition, so they can take the Rags or one of the 2 pendings. I guess that's fine. And they do take the Rags. Got it. So I don't even know that I really care too much about that because of the fact that we already got to hit a couple of times with it. We know that this token can just trade with the Rags, and my turn is probably just better spent using cards like Solitude on their turn, or even like pending or something. A Fury's going to feel pretty decent. So here they're just going to make a couple of tokens, and that means that I'm not going to be using Solitude here. I'm just going to go ahead and use Fury, depending on what they get, of course. Let's see what happens. They choose the Research Desk again. This card is kind of sick, not gonna lie. I'm not a fan. So like this, I am skipping a turn, but I get to Fury the token. The other one's just a 2/2. Spyro's not bad for later. So I'm just gonna get myself full value out of these elementals while the getting's good. And I don't have a way to clear both of these because of the Research Desk being on the table, but I can still do that. In this way, if they want to pop the Research Desk at end of turn, it will just die here. Let's see if they do that. Okay, they get Stomping Ground, probably tapped, which means they're not using this, which is, they might. Okay, let's see if they do it. I really highly doubt they'll do that. Yeah, I didn't think so. But at least I can give my opponent the chance to screw that up, right? So now I can, pending the token, get a sweet attack in for 6. They can play Giganta, but I do have the Solitude ready for that. So this is us turning the corner, looks like. I clearly am a fan of that. Timeless Dragon's also a pretty good draw. So here I'm just gonna hard cast a Solitude. Let's get rid of Giganta, get to work on putting 6 damage down their throat, and now we are the one who are up on cards. So this is mostly where we want it to be here. I still want to dodge a couple of key removal spells from them, but I'm not exactly complaining about our situation here. What's this? Fable. Okay, Fable's pretty good. So they do have a couple of tokens here. There's the Catacombs we knew about, and a Bolt for Fury. You got it. They can attack if they want to, but I really don't care about that. Mountain is actually not that bad. So let's pending here, and I'm actually going to let them loot. I think I'm just going to pending here as well, and then get our attack in. So let's see what happens there. Research Desk now. Can I see the things? They Fatal Push. Sure? Now, do I even bother playing Spyro? Because I can discard a Timeless Dragon, that feels pretty good, but like, I can just let them waste their card here. Yeah, fuck that, they can just waste their card.
Power on.
Oh, damn it, once again. Me and the Bluetooth speaker, name a better duo. Yeah, this feels pretty decent. They can go ahead and loot away, I guess, this mountain and something else. They discard a Bloodstained Mire and a Boseiju to draw 2. Okay. Renin 6, I guess that happens. Can't do much about that. What do they want to get? Saga, right. There's a Saga down there. Yeah, sure. Not doing much about the Saga, so let's just go ahead and get ready to untap here. And they're at 8. So we might be in a situation where I want to simply not discard the dragon and instead just cast it. Oh, or I have a Fury. Let's do that instead. So the Fury can clear the red in 6, and the double striker threatens lethal. So that'll feel pretty nice. Get that shit out of my face. Here's your life total. Let's hope to get that shit out of my face. Unholy Heat on that, which is fine by me. So now that they're at 5, this feels especially decent here because the Timeless Dragon, you know, is a 5/5. So that part's pretty nice. I don't like the fact that Reflection has flipped and is a thing now, but there's plenty of removal that we can draw for that too. Unearth the research desk. You got it. Okay. So now I do need to worry. Oh, Tarmogoyf. Does that do anything? I don't think a Goyf really... I mean, don't get me wrong, a 6/7's big, but I actually don't think I need to worry too much about that. A Bolt. I love that for us. So I'm going to just cast this thing, and then I can Bolt the Reflection. So it is true that their Goyf is absolutely huge, but they need to draw something to deal with this Timeless Dragon basically right now. They can Shadow Spear onto the Goyf and go up to what? 9? Yeah. But I think even that's not just the end of the world. Like, it's rough, but there's a lot of live draws that I have for that too. Like, we did put the Wear and Tears in the deck. They're not still in the graveyard. So Wear and Tear will do us some good here. Another Solitude will just, like, be amazing against this giant thing. And their life total is still under pressure here. An Ephemerate works because I've got the Solitude. So we have plenty of things to actually be doing. Another Goyf, though. Oh my. This is a giant board. So I can't lie and say I'm not scared of this big-ass board. So I'm going to play the Sacred Foundry tapped and then Spyro. Tapping like that just on the off chance that I get Blood Moon plus something. A Fury. Not helpful yet. So we take that, we go to 5. Oh, wait, stop. Oh, no, dang it. Oh, that was too fast. I meant to use the other 3 mana to buy my Obosh, and Moto just didn't let me take the yields off quickly enough. So here I can block the big Goyf with the Spyro, take the 8, go down to 4, and threaten a fairly large attack here. I am going to immensely regret not having my my Obosh here, because like this could have just done 10, and now if I draw a Bolt, I'm gonna feel really stupid. At least it wasn't a Bolt. It's not good, but at least it wasn't just a Bolt. So I can, I'm pretty sure I'm still dead. So I can Fury the life linking blocker, and I'm like 95% sure I'm still dead here. And then attack with my life linker so that I can at least go up to 7. So this is still by no means actually decent, but it does mean that I'm a little better able to survive this turn. Yeah, that one's gonna happen. So that's an 8/9, and I don't have a life linking blocker anymore, which kind of sucks because it does mean that I need to actively block here. So if I block, what are you, a 5/5? Yeah. So I can block here and here, and then here. So this is 6 damage tramples over. I go to 1. They have to choose between Dragon and Fury here. They go up to 21, which is kind of a lot. And if they don't have a kill spell for this, then I can survive. They did, so I die. And there was just nothing I could do about that, right? Like, I really think that, yeah, the Goyfs were just absolutely huge. But I don't even think I'm really mad about that. That's just kind of one of those, we had all the cards there, and their Sagas plus Tarmogoyfs being way bigger than our Furies and stuff just ended up winning them that game. I think we played that pretty well, all things considered still. Maybe we had a couple of turns earlier where, I mean, we could have bought the Obosh with the 3 mana that one turn, but that ended up not mattering anyway. Like, Obosh would not have helped this scenario. Actually, no, that's only half true. If we had bought Obosh, then Solitude would have dealt 6 life linking instead of 5. Okay, never mind. That mattered a lot, actually. Well, GG's opponent. Let's move to the next round. All right, last round of the day. We got the die roll. Pretty good at that today, apparently. And what do we got going on here? Turn 1, Rags with Dennet of Bugbear is really nice. And then March, Prismatic Ending, Spyro. Yeah, let's keep that all day. Keep that all day. Opponent mulls to 6, doesn't reveal a companion, so I have basically 0 information as to what they could be on or are working with. But hopefully this turn 1 Rags is just a super busted thing to be doing that wins this game. That's the dream. Windswept Heath. Okay, that tells me absolutely nothing. And a Solitude. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and try to get an attack with our Rags and see what happens. They do have a Solitude pitching to Fairy, so it looks like we're playing against 4-color. I guess that's mostly fine since I can't do anything about it anyway. So even if I wasn't okay with it, it just is what it is. And they don't try to ephemerate or anything like that, so I don't have to Solitude it back. Let's see what happens here. If it's a Wrenn and 6, I've got a Pending, and I'm pretty happy about that. If it's not a Wrenn and 6, I've got a Spyro that can pitch the 2 low drop removal spells for cards, and I guess I'm fairly happy about that as well. A basic forest, okay, playing around our Blood Moons, so this might get a basic island. But we also didn't see like a Kahira or anything, so this isn't just like a straight up elementals. And it looks like this is in fact a Wrenn and 6. So they're going to get back one of their fetches, we get to untap and Pending the Wrenn and 6, and then kind of go from there. Another mountain, not really what the doctor ordered, but it's what's going to happen. So Pending goes here, and a mountain, and now let's see what our opponent cooks up. So we know they have a 3rd land drop because they just picked up a Misty, but let's see what ends up happening this turn. Maybe they cast like a Teferi or something. And they grab a basic plane, so Teferi is totally on the table, especially since we know they pitched another one to Solitude. Abundant growth on the basic there. Okay, you got it. Don't really care about that. It's not like you can play Yorion as a companion in this format. They just happen to have some really good fixed colors. Okay, so they do have another Wrenn and 6, which honestly is pretty annoying. But if we draw another Pending, or just get to overwhelm it with attackers, or draw Fury at some point, any of those are pretty viable things. So I'm going to do this and pitch the March and the Mountain. Okay, so a Marsh Flats is a lot better than just like the March that, I'm sorry, a Marsh Flats is better than a March that. Can't really do too much currently, so I still want to draw just a Pending so I can cleanly kill this Wrenn and 6, but if I have to like attack Bolt plus like dash Rags or something, then I guess that's what we're doing. And I am going to grab a basic Plains in the event that I end up drawing into a copy of, not the other March. Come on, man. I've got 4 Pendings and 2 Marches, and here we are drawing 2 Marches. Anyway, complaining over. Let's go ahead and dash Rags. See what happens to that. So any number of things, of course, could happen to our friend Rags here. So this one's going to attack the face. You're attacking Wrenn and 6, so are you. And this way, if they like use a removal spell here to avoid the trigger, these 2 are still going to hit Wrenn and 6, and then I can bolt it for the finish. So it looks like all of that's going to happen, which means no removal spell and no counter. Okay. I want to deal with Wrenn and 6 in their upkeep. This way, I assume there is no such thing as a counter spell coming for it. But just in case there is, I want to make them use the mana for said counter spell on their turn, not mine. So what does this Misty Rainforest get? Basic Island, sure. So if we're going to be doing Blood Moony things, then I'm just like not gonna. Eladamri's Call. I do have a Solitude, so what are we getting with Eladamri's Call? They're just getting Omnath, okay, sure. So they can cast Omnath with what's currently on board. They have blue, red, green, white. Oh, crap. Whoops. I wanted to bolt the stupid Wrenn and 6, but again, me pressing buttons. Well, that feels bad. So now they're going to have the land drop for the Omnath guaranteed rather than like only almost definitely having it. So I'm still going to do that though. So let's kill that. We're going to put your trigger on the stack so that you can draw a card, but you will not be gaining life other than from Solitude's thing. I can also just like let this happen and then untap Solitude during my turn and keep the 3/3. Is that better than just like dashing Rags? You know what? I actually think I do just want to hard cast the Solitude and get all my value out of it. I don't like the fact that they're going back up to 20. I guess make that 24. But I guess if we're going to be stuck going through a slogfest anyway, I may as well give myself the chance to keep as many cards as possible because I'm going to need all of them. So they got an Indatha Triome, which tells me 2 things. First, to expect a Teferi. Actually, I think that's okay. Like, Teferi can bounce either the Spyro or the token. They draw a card. It goes to 1. But then they're getting Abundant Growth back so they can recast. Sure. But then I still get to Solitude, finish off Fury. I'm sorry, finish off Teferi. And then just get a decent attack. Sounds fine. And a second Rags is actually not that terrible either. So 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to make use of all of the mana here. Get rid of you. And then work on attacks for here and your face. If they have a Solitude and want to save this, then sure. Didn't think so. I was gonna say, like, I guess it was technically an option to get rid of Teferi like that, but it's much more realistic that we're still just kind of stuck going through this slog fest here. This is a matchup that I generally hate because it just takes forever and is not fun. They got rid of Spyro with Pending, you got it. Now if they have like another Renin 6, I suppose they can Renin 6 and get rid of the token, or buy back a land. They could also just like to ferry this back. So they do have plenty of things they could be doing here. Blood Moon is actually not the worst thing here. I don't necessarily think it's the best thing, but it's not the worst. So let's see what happens here. We get rid of Rags, Leyline Binding, we'll get rid of Rags, that's fine. So yes, we knew that was an option, and we just like have another one. So I can get rid of the Abundant Growth. I don't really think I care too much about that. I would actually just rather save the March of Otherworldly Light for something much larger. Like if down the road I need to like use the March of Otherworldly Light just at full cost to get rid of, say, a Renin 6, or I'm sorry, Renin 6, get rid of like one of these, or get rid of like a, excuse me, like a Fury or a Solitude, I guess I'd rather do that. Okay, so we've got lots of lands on the table, and what to do about, speaking of, now what? So I can march where X is 3 to get rid of this. I can just attack and see if they want to block, but there's basically no chance in hell they actually want to block. But I'm still going to give them a chance to. Okay. I can also use this as an opportunity to just like resolve my Blood Moon. Decisions. I think I'm not going to try to resolve Blood Moon. I think I actually just want to wait until they cast another elemental and then use that as an opportunity to respond with my March of Otherworldly Light. Okay, so they play a land and don't really do too much else here. So at end of turn here, I think I'm just going to march targeting this Risen Reef. No, I'm just going to cast, if you don't mind. So X is 3. Now let's see if they have an if. Oh my god, they have a nothing. They have a nothing. I'm going to try to dash Rags here. There's no actual way I get to do 6 damage here, right? Like there's just zero chance I actually get to do 6 damage. It's just not even a real thing that could happen in this world. Yeah, I didn't think so. So here they can get rid of the Rags once again. Take 4, go to 5, and that's a lot safer for them with Bolt being a considerable card in my hand than anything else here. So I guess what I'm hoping to dodge is Omnath would really suck. I don't want them gaining life. I would like them to have another fetch land and use Misty plus that, but the chances of that happening are fairly low. I very specifically asked for you to not have that. I guess if I do draw another land, though, I can get rid of this Omnath too, but okay, so there's the other fetch, but now it's with Omnath, so that kind of does almost the exact opposite of what I was going to ask for. Thank you very much. A Spyro. Okay, so I guess I can just attack into the Omnath and then Bolt plus Spyro. I guess that's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Like, there have been worse. Let's see if / what they want to block. Okay, here's a Hallowed Fountain tap. They get 4 more life. They go up to 12 and go down to 8. Okay, so here I want to, I guess, Spyro. Getting rid of the Bolt and the Blood Moon. Oh, okay. Okay, I can get behind this. And I'm not pitching Spyro to Fury. I think I'm just gonna like try for a land drop this next turn. Since they're at effectively 12, 16 if they have another fetch land or just a land in hand, I'm not really playing the short game of just try to aggro you out. So I think here, Fable, you got it. So I think here my job is really just to manage the Omnath in one turn. And if I draw a land, I'll be happy to do so with just casting Fury or just casting Solitude if I draw a white card. I don't know, we'll see. Cavern, sure. So yeah, so we are effectively at 16 right now with them. Excuse me. Blood Moon is not a card I want. Okay, so let's, not the land that I needed here. I don't want to pitch Spyro to any of this stuff here either. So I think what I want to do is simply click attack all. If they block with Omnath to either of these two, then I can finish off with Fury pitching Blood Moon, then cast Spyro. That feels medium terrible. But I think I'm just going to buy this back. And we are up on both cards and life, but I'm keeping it real, a lot more scared of what they could be going on than they should be of what I'm doing, because I'm just like really, really short on lands, and they have to know that I'm waiting on a 5th land to really just start going balls to the wall here. I would appreciate a white card, but I really want a 5th land. An Ephemerate would also rock really hard. What do we discard? Boseiju and Windswept Heath. Okay. We cycle a Triumph, understood. But discarding 3 lands in this late stage of the game is really godlike. I'm kind of just crossing my fingers and hoping they didn't just draw 3 super gas cards, but it looks like they're probably starting with a Renin 6 here. So, oh, it's a fairy. That does what? That lets them buy back Fable and Recast if they want tokens. They can buy back Omnath. They can bounce one of my little tokens. There's a lot of things that can be done with Teferi here. And I guess they're just going to tick up. I think that's like the only one that I'm actually not scared of. All right. So if I draw a land, what do I want to do? I think I want to mostly resolve Obosh, actually, because that lets Fury pitch for an incredible amount of damage. I did ask for a land, didn't I? I should have been a lot more specific. So we'll play a tapped land. And here I want to... I guess I could pitch Blood Moon to Fury, see if it clears the Omnath. That lets me attack Teferi. And then I can Spyro, but that seems terrible too. I can also just Spyro, pitching Blood Moon and Obosh. Doesn't feel great. It does do things, but it doesn't feel great. So what happens here if we do that? I can attack with these two, all to Teferi. They block. Fairy takes 3 and goes to 2, can't bounce anything else. And then if I pitch Blood Moon just to Fury, then what? You know what? I think I want to cut them off of casting maybe a Solitude. Let's actually just try to resolve the Blood Moon and see what happens. Like, if they bounce Blood Moon with Teferi next turn, then I think I'm actually like relatively okay with that, since I want to be the one. And if they have Counterspell in their deck, I'm really happy if they get rid of Blood Moon with it, because I don't care about the Counterspell. Like, I don't actually want Blood Moon to resolve / stick around. But if they have like another Boseiju and they want to use that on my Blood Moon to get me a land drop, I'll be pretty happy about that. Okay, so somewhat unfortunately the bait spell worked there. And now most of their lands are turned off, including their ability to cast something like a like their own Solitude. But I would much rather they simply got rid of this so I could... good enough, actually. Otawara, that still counts. Like, they used a resource on a card that I don't care about. So that does actually make me fairly happy. I can't play Ephemerate with Teferi on the table, which kind of sucks. But I can still just, like, cast Fury, and if I draw a white card, pitch to Solitude, I can just cast Obosh and see what happens there. Okay, so you are gonna get blocked by some tokens. And I'll do one more, just in case they have Solitude. Okay, so there goes the token. And now let's see what we can kind of come up with. Having a 5th land feels really nice now. I am super sad that it... Oh no, am I just getting Furied out of the freaking moon here? Elish Nor, no! Okay, that sucks. Now my entire deck just like doesn't do anything. So I gotta draw like a March of Otherworldly Light, which I already have my 2. Just to get rid of Elish Norn. All their stuff triggers twice. Like, this is not going to go well for me. Yikes. What, if anything, can I do about that? I legitimately think the answer might be nothing. But let's untap and see what I can draw anyway. Ephemerate. Well, I can't cast that with Teferi, so... I guess I'm just gonna cast Obosh and... Nah, fuck that. We'll just pack it up. I'm not beating that. So, about that, let's grab Teferi's. I think the fucked up thing here is that I don't even really want anything else here. And I guess Wear and Tears to get rid of Leyline Bindings, I guess. And I don't really want Blood Moon here. Like, Blood Moon is a card that has the ability to be really good against them, but they all play around it. Like, the 4-color control decks all play around it. But also, it's just like, I don't know, I think not really the best thing to be doing against a Boseiju deck too. It's just like very medium, and even though they're a 4-color deck. It's not quite as bad as it was when they had extras to like Arkham's Astrolabe. That was terrible for Blood Moon, because those decks, they could just both play around Blood Moon, and they were also the Blood Moon decks themselves. So that was just miserable. But here it's like fine, but I don't know that fine is good enough. Okay, so let's be on the play and reveal our friend Obosh here. Yikes. And not great, but much less yikes. Okay, fine. So keep this, pitch this, and we're just going to open up with a Triumph and call it a day here. So I am hoping to dodge like an early Ren and 6 for a turn, right? A really sweet draw would be just something like a Dashed Rags would be super nice. This must be an Abundant Growth. It is a March of Otherworldly Light. I actually am going to do that. So let's get rid of that. And I don't know that this is going to mess up their mana, but it has the ability to, so I think I like it. Did we? Yeah. Okay, so Temple Guard and Basic Forest means that they could come at me with something like a, what am I thinking? An Eladamri's Call. So that could be fairly obnoxious. If they have exactly, say, like that into, oh wow, nothing. They have nothing. I'm gonna draw a card. I understand that this might potentially walk me into something like, say, a Ren and 6 tick down, but that's okay too, because I can untap, Lightning Bolt the Ren and 6. If I draw an untapped land, that'll allow me to cast Spyro after that too, or I could just like buy Obosh. But if they don't have a Ren and 6 for tick down right now, then I'm still feeling pretty decent. Okay, so what's this? Are we a, that thing? Yes. I'm like, whatever the 3-drop is called, yes. I've played this deck. I don't know why I can never remember cards' names. I swear, I feel like that old granddad who forgets their kids' names every time something like this comes up. So they actually did get to draw a real card. Oh, that's good. Okay. So now I can bolt this thing, get it the hell out of my face. Then I can dash Rags. And now I've got a land drop here. I've got a 5th mana source for Solitude, should I want that. Besaju's gone, which I don't really care about. But yeah, that feels okay. So now if they play something like relatively scary, like say an Omnath just by itself, right? I can still just untap hardcast Solitude and be pretty happy about that. And it looks like that actually is what's going to happen. So they go ahead, they have the Omnath, they can't gain life. They're going to gain 4 life from this, but they can't gain life just like, you know, really, I guess. And if I draw an untapped land, do I want to cast Rags and potentially walk into Fury, or do I want to say fuck it? I might just end up saying fuck it if I'm being honest. Because, oh no, they just have the Fury now. So they're going to do that and get rid of the Teferi, which is honestly okay. Like, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to hardcast this. All right, get that Omnath out of my face and we'll see if there are more to come. Obviously, I certainly hope not. But even doing it like this, I'm still down 3 whole cards. Oh, piss off. Alright, this card has entirely too much value attached to it. Timeless Dragon. Okay, so let's attack into the Omnath, see if they want to block. There's pretty much no chance they actually choose to block, right? Oh, they don't need to, they just have a Solitude, sure. And what did we pitch for Solitude? Supreme Verdict, okay. So here I want to do what? Timeless Dragon, go get to land, and then Spyro to pitch Bolt and Teferi, neither of which are really doing too much right now. I guess I'm in for that. And I'm going to do this, lying to them and telling them that I might have... Oh, I didn't play my land first. Lying to them and telling them that I might still be on Blood Moon, even though it's not in a deck anymore. So let's get rid of these 2 to go look for a real card. And Ephemerate with Spyro on the board certainly qualifies as a real card. So we are missing a 5th land drop from them, which is kind of nice because it means that we're also not currently dealing with this stupid Omnath life gain. But a single Ren and 6 off the top of their deck changes that too. So if they draw Ren and 6 with this abundant growth, then I am still in a pretty decent amount of trouble. Otawara. Okay. So now what happens here? If they want to attack, I think I just let them. I'll just go down to 18. Yeah, you got that. I'll go down to 18. So now with a 5th land, what do I want to do? I can attack and then... Oh, that'll be good for a Leyline Binding. Actually, yeah, I feel like this is fine. Like, I can use my Timeless Dragon now since they've played Otawara. What's this? Endurance. Oh, your fucking mother. All right, that is ultra obnoxious because now it means I'm not going to get to use my Timeless Dragon either. How disgusting. And if they block Spyro, then I'll be okay with just ephemerating it, pitching these 2 cards that I very, very medium care about to get 2 fresh ones and 2 more tokens. And if they come at me with a Leyline Binding for something more important in a little bit, then I guess I'll be sad. But for now, I guess I'm okay with this. And I'm going to keep the land so I can pitch it to the Fable, should the Fable actually survive. And then over the next couple of turns here, I do have access to like extra cards from Fable. I can buy Obosh. Spyro can turn into tokens. So I'm certainly not out of it, but man, this feels rough. I wonder why this deck isn't playing Kahira. There's the Elish Norn, okay. Oh, duh, that's why they're not playing the Kahira. You're a Phyrexian Praetor or something. Yeah, okay. Well, that gives a reason to that. Can I beat an Elish Norn? Probably not. I will give myself another draw step here, but I just don't think I'm beating that card. Okay. That might do something. Pitch you. Come on. And I can't even really do anything with this yet, only because of the fact that, what am I thinking? Because I've got this silly Iganjo here, and I can't use it yet. How many land is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is also not... Oh, that's bad for me. If they attack, how do I want to block? I don't really know that I do. They get a real card with Risen Reef, which is kind of scary. They have 5 cards, and Elish Norn on the table invalidates basically most of this deck, which really sucks. We could be playing Elish Norn. She costs 5, so she's odd. So that is a card that we actually could just be playing. Oh, okay. Let's do that and get endurance off the table. I'll take the 4 from Omnath. And this plays around exactly one card, like say an Unholy Heat or something. So if they only want to get rid of like the Shaman and a token, then I'll feel okay-ish about that. There's a Solitude. So the Solitude draws them a card and gets rid of one of the tokens, the 2/2, but then they still have 4 power to deal with. So that's why we actually did gang block like that. If they have the Solitude and something like an Unholy Heat or even a... Oh, wait. This thing triggers twice. Ah, shit. All right, fine. You got me, Elish Norn. Good job. Okay, so now I've played 10 full rounds with this deck. And after going, what, a total of 8-2 in those 10 rounds, honestly, this deck feels pretty decent. Like, there is some potential there. And we did have a hard time against some of the grindier decks, right? Like, our matches against the Jund decks were pretty close, both this league and the league that I played before this. The 4-color matchup was honestly pretty hard because like Elish Norn just kind of bodies this entire deck by herself, which really sucks. So that's going to be a thing to kind of look out for. But otherwise, I think I really like this. Like, it's got the tools to fight against the creature decks, right? Like, you've got the Solitudes, the Furies, the Pendings, the Bolts. You've got the tools to go long against some decks. Like, we've got Spyro, Fable, a companion to buy, some Teferis out of the sideboard. So there's lots of tools like that too. And as we saw against Creativity, we can beat some of the more fucked up combo decks too. So we ended up beating Creativity with the Hallowed Moonlights and the Orvar and stuff. But we also played against Twiddlestorm, which is normally a deck that's just like so incredibly fast. There's not much we can do about that. But even still, we had, you know, some tools to mess with them a little bit if they fumble, right? Like, we've got the Blood Moons to make Lotus Field itself not really a card. We've got things like the Wear and Tears and the Relics to help deal with cards like Underworld Breach. So there's a lot of tools here that are kind of subtle, and all of these things are why we ended up going 5-0 in the league before this and going 3-2 in a relatively hard bunch of matchups here. So I think there's some really very real potential for exploring this deck more as a viable option for people to consider playing yourselves. So that's going to be it for today's gameplay though. So let me know, is this a deck that you actually liked watching? Like, is this kind of cool, or is this just like, okay, well, it's Boros with white cards, who cares? I'm sorry, or it's Rakdos with white cards instead, who cares? Like, let me know what you think of this archetype and if this is something that you think has enough potential to keep exploring. But that is going to be it for today's gameplay. As always, if you like what you're watching, make sure to like the video, let me know, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see y'all on the next one.